So back when I worked at Shreknad, I remember there were so many weird things that were going on during the time, but it wasn't anything that was like so paramount that I needed to really like dig into it. I more so felt like they were flukes, or that, when something happens in your life, like you get into a car accident, or you get pulled over by the police, or anything like that, you just go, oh, that's my way of luck, luck would have it that way. But no, they were instrumental. And looking back on it, I'm like, wow, they've been in my life a long time. One of the first times they showed their faces to me, I was living in this apartment, and I just turned 21 years old. I was single, but I had 2 children. My sons were around 2 and 3. And there was a time that I came home, and my son, we were actually sitting down watching movies together, and I would watch Walt Disney movies with my kids because I didn't know any better back then. But we were sitting down watching a movie, and I was actually drinking some beer and cooking some chicken. And my son was at the blinds, and he was poking a pencil through the blind. And I tapped his hand and said, oh my gosh, you're not supposed to destroy this stuff. Don't destroy things. And he looked at me like, you're not supposed to do that. Well, now I know better, because there was little holes in it. There was like 1 or 2 holes at the time. I don't remember exactly. But during that time, a bunch of my panties kept coming up missing. And it wasn't alarming until one time I was on the phone with my mom. I was joking on the phone, and I told her, I said, I wish somebody'd leave me some money for my panties. Well, then Victoria's Secrets has a sale, and my mom, she's like a mall shopper. She's always looking for deals, and she's like, gotta go to the mall. They've got some stuff on sale. And I was like, I need some panties. Great. So we go to Victoria's Secrets. I pick up I don't remember whether it was 30 or 50, but it was a high number of pair of panties. And I got to the point where I had 4 pair. And I called my mom, and I'm like, Mom, I said, I've known the washer and dryer to eat your socks, but when did it ever eat panties? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, this is weird, Mom. I think someone's stealing my panties. I go, this is so weird, Mom. So I had hung my few pairs of panties up. I had 3 pair that I put on a hanger, and I had a pair that was on. That weekend I went to work, and I borrowed this girl's bikini that she had made. It was gold and white. A really nice bikini. At the end of the night, I told her, hey, do you mind if I take this home and just wash it for you? And I'll be back to work it was on a Saturday. I was not going to work the next day, or a Friday, I think it was what it was. And I wasn't going to work on Saturday, but I was going to work on Sunday. So I'll bring it back to you on Sunday clean. And she said, yeah, that's fine. No problem. Just don't lose it, because I handmade it. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, I come home. We had went out that Saturday night. I come home. On Friday, I had threw hers in the washer. And then on Saturday, I had to wash some other clothes because I wanted to go clubbing. And I put the clothes in the washer, and I take the ones out of the washer, threw them in the dryer. And then when it came time, because there wasn't very many in the clothes when it was the panties and stuff. When it came time for them clothes to come out, the panties were missing. The panties to this girl's bathing suit. So I was like, no way. So that flipped me out. That was already a big ordeal. Then I had taken my clothes out of the dryer, and I threw them. On Saturday night, I threw them on my love seat, just right before the door. And I figured I'll get them the next morning because I was going out. So the kids had left late. It was 9 or so at night when I had dropped them off for them to, they already had to be in bed. Well, Mom said she'd watch them through the night, but that she had to take them back early in the morning. So 6 o'clock in the morning, my kids are up. Mom calls me. She's like, I'm coming. I'm like, okay. Well, I had gotten wasted. So I was like, oh, I'm kind of hungover. Let me get up and take something. So I got up and I took something. I went and I laid on the couch. Well, then my mom comes and my door's open. And I'm like, I thought that door was locked. Because when my mom left, the thing was I used to fool around, and I had someone over that night. And then I woke, when my mom called me, I was like, you got to get up and get out. And I let them out and I shut and locked the door. Okay? And I went and laid on the couch. I expected my mom to knock on the door. Instead, she walks in. And I'm like, how did you walk in? She's like, the door was open. So I get up. My mom like, what? I thought I locked it. But then I thought, maybe I didn't lock it. Maybe I'm so hungover. Like, that is so weird, though, because I don't forget things like that. Well, I'm standing there, and I decide that I'm going to start folding the clothes because I got to get up. You know, my kids are there. I got to be a mother. So I get up, I start folding my clothes, but the first thing I grab is a cut-off Harley Davidson shirt. And I was like, wait a minute, where did this come from? The person that was there the night before doesn't wear this stuff. I literally watched when they took whatever off and then put it back on and then left, okay? So where'd this shirt come from? It was wet too. So I pick it up and I smell it and it reeks of beer. At that very moment, I looked up and straight in front of me, that blind that my son had been poking a hole into that day, it had a smiley face on it. Well, that wouldn't have been alarming if my panties hadn't come up missing. And check this out. After I went out, I don't remember exactly the time this happened. So I don't want to say this exactly when it happened. But after telling my mom, I wish somebody would leave me some money for some panties, I had 2 pairs of panties left on the hanger and a $50 bill on my dresser that was not there before. So when I saw that smiley face and all these other things had happened, I freaked out. I never stayed another night in that house. Ever. I literally grabbed everything that I could grab, all of our clothes and everything. I put it in my vehicle and I cut out. I was gone. I had paid my last month's rent. We were on a month-to-month rental too. I didn't even care. I was like, I'm out. That's it. It's over. And I moved away. Well, then another time, I was on my way to work and I forgot something in the house. And so I had to go back. I turned around, I went back. I parked the car up in front of the house. I ran into the house, grabbed what I needed, and I come back out. Well, I had laid my cell phone in the seat next to me, directly next to me in the passenger seat. I ran in, I ran back out. I was not even in the house 2 minutes, okay? Well, as I get in the car and I go to pick up my phone, my cell phone's missing now. It's gone. Completely gone. Somebody stole it out of my front seat. Well, I wouldn't have thought that was weird, right? I just thought, oh, I'm in a bad neighborhood. Someone got to it. Well, then I'm driving down the road right after that. I'm driving down the road on my way to work, and this guy's hollering at me, hey, hey, hey. Well, men used to always holler at me because, you know, before I, ended up having my scar face and stuff, I wasn't ugly. So, men did what they did. And this guy was yelling at me, and I was thinking he's trying to hit on me. I'm trying to ignore him. And he goes, hey, you stuck up bitch. I was like, whoa, what? He said, your tags are missing. So I was like, huh? He said, your tags are missing on your vehicle. So I'm like, what the hell? I pull over, get out of my car, and look, and someone stole the tags off of my vehicle. Well, that had to have just happened, too, because my tags were just there. So I didn't know what was going on. What exactly was going on? Now, like I said, I was chalking things up for a fluke or, that's just my luck. But little did I know that there was something greater to it. And they were showing me their face. Those stories keep culminating until we are to where we are today, which is I don't leave the house without multiple bags. Because if I don't, I'll come home to something destroyed. They come in and they destroy everything. They do. It doesn't matter where I am or anything. And it's directly targeted at me specifically. Now, I never used to believe that that would be possible, but it is. And I want them to know, because I know y'all are watching, your system's coming down. You know that? I'm telling you. I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's why I've been saved, to warn you.